Good morning, everybody. I wanted to pop on here and just give y'all a few little tips on cleaning a gas stove, okay? Now, with a gas stove, you have the grids that go over top of the stove, of course. And then you have, I don't even know what you call them. But these little things, okay? Now, these have got ridges and all that in it, and then it's got a hole where it lights. I don't know if you can see that or not. There's a little hole where when you turn on the burner to light, it flickers through there and then ignites this, okay? So these have to be taken off periodically and cleaned. And all you need to do that is one of these, okay? I have this where I keep it in my counter right above the stove, and it is the perfect size for the little screws. And I just undo the 2 screws in each one of them, pop them out, put the screws in a little bowl, and soak them in soapy water. And I just use my regular dish soap or my Magic degreaser, okay? And I soak them, and then I take a wire brush and I scrub them. And if there's anything inside that hole, I'll take a toothpick or even something like this and stick it through the little hole to clean it out real good. Okay? Now, to clean the top of my stove, it gets greasy and sometimes it gets burned on food. Like right now, it's mostly greasy. I'm a messy cook. My kids and my family, they don't wipe hardly anything down after they are done cooking. You know, I'm the type of person, I was raised where you take your stove and you wipe it down when you're done cooking. But that doesn't always happen, so sometimes it gets to looking like that. Okay? Lots of grease. And so what I do is, first I take some hot soapy water that I've already got in my sink, that I've got my igniters, I guess you want to call them igniters, I don't know what they're called. And I just kind of wipe off as much of the food and grease as I can with hot soapy water. Okay? And the easiest way to clean it from here, after you've done that, is I use Magic. Okay, this is a toxin-free product that I get from an online store. I do not represent this store. I just buy products from it, and I need to open it. So I really love this store. I've been buying through them for years. Everything that they have is toxin-free. You know, there's times that I don't need that much, so I can suspend my account. But this is what it is. And I just take and pour about a little bit bigger than a quarter size on my stove. Okay? And then I take my rag, and you can put this in a spray bottle with some water too, but I just take my rag and I kind of wipe it around. Just wipe it around like so. And this is already cutting the grease on here without having to do too much of anything. Okay? But I like my stove to become really, really shiny. So then I take a piece of steel wool. And I don't use a real big piece. I just take a small piece of steel wool that I've broken off. And I will scrub it a little bit. Very lightly. Or you can use just a regular scrubbing pad that's on a sponge or whatever. Most of this will come off really, really easy. Unless it's like stuck on food. then you have to let it sit a little bit longer. And if any of y'all are interested in knowing more about this store, I do have some friends that are affiliates of this store that I can hook you up with. If you're having problems getting disinfectants right now, stuff like that, you can go into this store. Now, they are doing a limited type deal right now, but you can go into this store and purchase your household disinfectants and stuff once a month. They're limiting it to once a month, and I think there's only a certain amount you can get. But one thing you got to realize with this is that everything is super concentrated. So everything in this store that you buy, you're getting like 5 or 6 spray bottles worth. And so therefore you're saving money, number one. You're also helping our earth because it's less waste, okay? Because the bottles are much smaller, and then the bottles that you buy through them, you refill them, or you can just go buy regular spray bottles either way and put your own labels on them and refill them. So you got a lot less waste in, on our earth, which helps a lot. And anyway, you can right now purchase products in this store that are going to help with protecting your home from the COVID-19 virus, and cleaning products, laundry detergent, different things like that are all toxin free. So you're not only helping your environment, but you're keeping chemicals away from your family that are really unnecessary. A lot of people are saying use bleach. I for one, I believe, and I know bleach is poison. You inhale that stuff in your lungs, and you're going to burn all those little bitty hair fibers that are in your lungs and in your throat and in your nose. And those fibers that you have in your body, those little hair fibers, they protect you. They protect you from bacteria and stuff like that, in case you don't know. People that shave their nose hairs, which that's a good thing, you don't want to go in real deep in your nose and shave those hairs. You just want to do the very front part of the entrance to your nose, because those hairs that are up in your nose protect you. They're there for a reason, okay? We don't want them hanging out of our nose now. I know I don't. And so I do mine. But those hairs protect you. There's a lot of things that people don't realize that we have that seems like it's very annoying to us, drives us crazy. And those things are there for a reason. They're part of our body for a reason. They protect us. Bacteria, viruses, things like that. It protects us from that. So, be very, very careful with the things that you do and the things that you use on your body. Because a lot of things can cause you more harm than good. That's why I've gone to all natural products. And I'm going to tell you, my health and my life is 100% better. And I say 100% better than what it was 7 years ago, when I suffered from COPD and high blood pressure, high cholesterol, autoimmune disease, osteoporosis, osteoarthritis, so many things, I can't even think right now. Psoriasis, eczema, those are autoimmune conditions. Different things like that, a lot of times chemicals cause more problems than good. And I used to be a housekeeper too, okay? I had my own housekeeping business. Why are you standing over me, Sierra?
I'm watching.
Well, you're Okay. Anyway, I used to have my own housekeeping business. And I got to find something to do for these kids here in a little bit. I used to have my own housekeeping business. And I used the chemicals that you buy for, like, I forget what they're called. Industrial chemicals, okay? Industrial strength. I used to go to a special store and buy my chemicals before I found these products, okay? And I'm just letting y'all know. I'm just letting y'all know that if you're using industrial strength products, they are not going to do any better than these products do.
Hi, Big Jim.
They will not do any better than these products do. I've used them. I know. I get more results from my natural products and better results than I do with industrial strength. And that is no joke. I will not go back. Even if I were doing housekeeping again, I will not go back. Please, you're in my way. Move. Go on the other side of the counter. Thank you. I will not go back to using industrial strength products. I will not go back to using bleach. I use a lot of vinegar as well. And sometimes I even add vinegar to my products just to have a little extra boost of cleaning power. They make a house cleaning vinegar, which is stronger than your food quality vinegar. And it's actually, you don't ingest it. It's only for cleaning, okay? Because it has too much strength to it for us to ingest. But you guys, I'm telling you, it didn't really take me that long to clean this. And it almost, it's sparkling right now. And I'll get the rest of it put together. The other part, the grates, are in the dishwasher. I just stick them in my dishwasher. And I put my dishwasher unsanitized. Who needs to spend all that time cleaning? When you have done housekeeping for years and years and years, and you've had your own housekeeping business, you learn certain shortcuts that work and that aren't going to take you all day long to do. Would this take me maybe 15 minutes to do this? And all I have to do now is get the little injectors. I don't know what they're called. The little things that go on top, the injectors, cleaned. And I'll use a steel brush on that. And that's it, you guys. Plop it all back together and I'm done. I am done. And I'll take my non-toxic window cleaner and I'll spray all of this down and all the front down, wipe it down, and that's it. I'm done. Now, I don't have a backsplash on my walls, okay? So I get stuff like this on my walls. But that degreaser will take it all right off, alright? It's still in my rag. So I just hit it with a wipe. Sometimes I have to use a little bit of my fingernail to scrape off the really stuck on that's really splattered on there. But as far as grease goes, that is it, you guys, okay? It is so easy. This is the best degreaser I have found on the market, okay? Now again, I do not sell these products. I'm not an affiliate of this store. I don't promote them. I don't do anything. I buy them and use them. This is the best degreaser you can find anywhere. And it doesn't cost you an arm and a leg. Okay? I pour a tiny bit of this down my sinks when they get stopped up from grease. And within seconds, and I mean seconds, my clog is gone. It doesn't take much at all. So, anyway, you guys, that's my little tip for today. I hope you enjoyed that. And like I said, if you're interested in any of these products, if you want to know more about them, I have friends that are affiliated. And I am right now trying to help as many of my friends as I can. So, if y'all do have products, hit me up that you're trying to get other people to purchase or whatever and help them out, and hopefully y'all have discounts right now. That would be amazing, because a lot of people are looking for discounts. But hit me up and I'll talk about your products in one of my lives, or I'll showcase your products on my website. Right now is the time to help other people. And, what we put out there comes back to us. So I want y'all to think about that. And I want you to think about serving others today. And not making this all about you. Because we're all in this together. And we're all still trying to make a living. Okay? And I can even hook you up with an online business right now, totally free, where you can make a little bit of an income. It may not be much, but it's going to be something, okay? And no matter what you do, I don't care if you're a plumber, a waitress, or if you do online businesses, okay? No matter what you do, it takes work. Yes, it takes work, and it takes time, okay? So you got to devote some of your time to an online business. You've got to promote it. You've got to talk about it. You've got to let people know what you have. And you've also got to let them know that you want to help them. Okay? People need to feel safe. They need to feel secure. They need to trust you. These are all the things that we need to talk about and bring to light right now. Actually, not just right now. All the time, you guys. Okay? There's world circumstances all the time. And what we tend to do is leave God out of the equation. Okay? And God needs to be in every area of our life. Whether it's business, whether it's family, whether it's friendship. No matter what it is, God has to be in the equation. Okay? When you leave Him out, you're going to find that your life is going to be more troublesome than when you have Him in your life. Okay? He's what brings joy and peace to us. He is our hope. He is our strength. And those are the things that I rely on. I don't rely on other people. I rely on God. Because I know that I can't, and I'm not anything without Him, without His strength, without His power. My body feeds off of His Spirit. That's how I survive. And anyway, so there you go, you guys. Look, if you saw it before, now you're seeing it now. Okay? There's a few more areas I have to scrub a little bit, like right here. But that's really no big deal. And that does happen over a period of time when you have the injectors on there, okay? They sit right over, and that's why there's this ring. But you can get that off with a little bit of steel wool. You might have to do a little bit more scrubbing, but not that much. And it's not so bad. I'm not going to worry about it. But my stove is nice and clean now. Nice and clean. So I'll get it all back together, and I'll finish spraying it down and wiping the back of it, and wiping down my backsplashes and the front of it. And I take these things off, you guys, and I clean them too. Actually, they shouldn't be on there right now. I take them off simply because this is a very small corner over here. Okay? Very small. No room. And I have to keep some of my pots and pans down there because I don't have enough room. And I cook all the time. I keep these off because a lot of times the kids will come over here and bump up against them. And it turns the gas on. And then, of course, you're wasting your propane and stuff. And you could take a chance of something else happening. So I always keep them off. When you got kids in your home, people that you take care of as well, you want to make sure, because see, these are not going to turn now. They have to literally be pushed in and turned in order for them to light. So, just another little tip for you. Hey, big guy, thanks for watching. Alright, you guys, I'll talk to y'all later. Have a great one. Okay, so after you clean the top of your stove and gotten these little things all clean, this is the way you put them back on. Okay? And then you got two little screw holes. You put your screws in there and you tighten them down. It's that simple. And of course, you want to make sure that when you put these on, you've got this little V area, and then you've got this little opening, okay? And that's where the little hole is inside. That needs to go over top of your igniter. So that part right there needs to be turned that way. It's kind of hard for me to do looking at the camera. Right over your igniter. Okay, then you've got your little plates that go over top of these. So I'm going to screw all these down and get it back together. And of course, once you get your screws down in there and you tighten them, okay, you just tighten them up and you just loosely tighten them at first until they're screwed all the way down in, and it does take a little bit because they're kind of long screws. Okay, you got it to the tighten part. Then you go to the other side and you tighten it up. And you screw that all the way down. And I can do this quicker with both hands than I can do it with one hand. But anyway, you get the idea. Okay, once you get to that point where it's tight, you take and give it a good twist. Just hand tighten. A good, you don't want it to get past that point. Okay, and that is it. So then I pull my little plates out of the dishwasher. These were all in the dishwasher. And I just take them and plop them back on top and make sure they're on there good, where they're how they're supposed to go. And of course you got to make sure the right size one is on the right size one. And you can always clean these a little bit better with a little scouring pad or something like that if you want to, and they're still hot. Okay? And then what I do, and they may not light, I may have to light it manually at first, is I'll light it so that, yeah, I'm going to have to probably light them manually the first time. Let me see if any of them will light. Hold on. No. They're still too wet, okay? So what I do is I manually light them. And I'll show you how I do that. And then, after they're all manually lit, I let them burn for a few minutes so it dries them up really good. And I just use, where are my Q-tips? Ah, they're right here. No, those aren't them. Let me find my Q-tips, you guys. I light a Q-tip. Here we go. I got a Q-tip. Okay, so I just light a Q-tip. Like so. And then I light my burners. I'll start with this one. And I let it run. Let me put all these back on here so that I can light them all. Because if you don't have your burners good and dry, what's going to happen is they're not going to light every time you go to use it. And that's another thing about cleaning your stove as well. A gas stove, when they get clogged up, they are not going to light once they get clogged. So here we go. Whoops. Come on, light. So I got that one. Got that one. Got that one. Got that one. Okay, which one of these? There it is. Now that back burner is a small burner and it doesn't get really hot. So I just let them run like that for a few minutes. Get them good and dry. Let it get really hot and good and dry. Well, and I got a little tiny moth that's not going to survive all that heat. I wonder what it's going to do. I wonder what it's going to do. But anyway, I want all these burners nice and dry. Let's check it. Okay, let's see now. There you go. Once they're good and dry, they're going to light every time. Okay, and that's what you're looking for. If they aren't good and dry, like that one, you go back and you relight them. Until, see, when they're good and dry, they're going to light every time. So, I've got a couple that I'm going to have to relight again. And that back one always takes longer. But, anyway, you get the idea. And then when my grids are dry, I'm going to pull them out and put them on the stove. Everything else is done. Okay, you guys, so everything is clean and back together. And all the burners light. And I'm going to leave them on so that the top grid dries better. Now, my back burner, which one of these is still making noise? One of them is. Okay, there we go. My back burner doesn't always want to light. I think there's something wrong with the little jet inside. So, I'm going to turn on the gas for just a second. Yeah. No, it's not going to light. So, I'm going to have to change that little thing that goes in the middle of it. I don't know what it's called, but I've changed those out before as well. But there you go. Nice and clean, and don't tell me I missed a spot. I don't want to hear I missed a spot. Alright, you guys, so, hey, if I can do it, you can do it.